Welcome seekers, you have made it to the Tarot Magicians channel. My name is Ricky and today I bring you another pick a card tarot reading and oracle reading. This one is titled The Next 7 Days from When You See This. This is a timeless reading. Now, for those of you that are new to pick a cards, each group has a distinct message for the next 7 days. What will happen, advice, essentially guidance from the tarot. So it's up to you to pick the group that calls to you the most. I'm going to include the timestamps in the description below so that you can fast forward to your group. Today we have 3 groups. This over here is group number 1. This is the card of sensitivity and strength, tapping the forces within, and the number associated with this card is number 3 for group 1. Now for group number 2, we have number 42, prosperity, abundance, success. We have a beautiful castle, and we have this just beautiful garden. And for group number 3, we have the number 4, freedom, moving on, letting go, for group number 3. So it is up to you, seekers, to pick the group that calls to you the most. If you're drawn to more than one group, that's okay, but make sure that you're going to the group that called you first, all right? And then you watch the second group. So go ahead, take a moment to make your selections now, and I will see you in your group. Welcome, group number 1. All right, so you picked the sensitivity and strength card, tapping the forces within, number 3 for group 1. So very interesting pick. This is the card essentially talking about a situation. A situation calls for some sensitivity right now, and it more than likely will within the next 7 days. So, you know, it may be an issue with a friend or someone at work or in your family. Even if it's in your nature to be strong, in control, and sometimes even aggressive, remember that it's possible to be both tender and strong at the same time. So keep that in mind for the next 7 days. I feel that that's going to be important. We're not going to put too much weight on this card, but definitely, you know, it's important to consider that message closely. Now, let's go ahead, zoom out, and we're going to go ahead and throw some tarot. And then we're going to throw some oracle cards, all right? So let's move this aside. We're going to use the Tarot Apocalypsis deck for this reading. Let's take a look and see what will the next 7 days bring you. Group number 1, what will the next 7 days bring you? What's coming for the next 7 days? What is coming for the next 7 days? All right, my goodness. Group number 1, you've got definitely some strong energies here showing up. Yep, some strong energies. You know, we start with the Hangman. And the Hangman is the card of sacrifices. It's the card of letting go of something, right? I think that sometimes in life we hold on to things so dearly. We want to be in control at all times. And sometimes the best thing to do is to just let go, you know, release all the expectations, get that load off of your back so that you can breathe, so that you can see clearly. And the Hangman talks about this, right? What we have here is a Native American tradition. In this illustration, a warrior that's doing the rite of passage, right? And he's becoming, or essentially tapping into his power. And you know, it requires a great deal of sacrifice. We see flames burning him. We see him bleeding from some places, right? So there's a sense of just being in this almost static state for a while. See the world around you shift and change and evolve so that once you are ready, once you go through this process, you can start seeing clearer. You can reach a new place. So a very stoic kind of mentality, I think, for the week. Maybe these are the energies that are coming to you, right? But it's also an advice card. You are being asked to retrace, to retreat, to not move forward as hastily as you normally would, right? So we see that also illustrated with the Two of Swords, all right? So for the next 7 days, what we have here is an energy of careful calculation, all right? We see here a warrior who is just playing a simple game. This is a Viking game. I forget the name, but it is a Viking game. And this warrior is thinking very clearly what the next step needs to be. And, he's very careful, very calculated, very in the moment. He wants to make sure that he doesn't make a mistake. And so just like this warrior, you have to try and calculate what's happening, what would be the best outcome in any situation. And then, we're reminded of the message of the sensitivity and strength card, right? We're reminded of the tapping the forces within card that you picked. And so in many ways, whatever this thing is that's going to happen, whatever event that's going to unfold, I think that it has to do with people around you, maybe a co-worker, a friend, a family member. You're maybe going to want to act in some ways very decisive and very confrontational, possibly very headstrong. That's not what you should do. Okay, the cards are being pretty clear, the oracle cards, now the tarot. Just, stay back. Don't get too involved. And I think that the reason why you're going to want to do that is because of our third tarot card. So you've got the Ten of Swords here. And, this is the card of a breaking point. This is where the mind reaches its ultimate breaking point. The Ten of Swords, starting from the Ace of Swords all the way to the Ten of Swords, what we see is a progression of the mind. But unfortunately, it's a progression where the mind is reaching a place of breaking. It's reaching a place of, mental almost degeneration. And so finally in the Ten of Swords, we see the complete breakdown of the mind. And so this is almost the avoidance, right, that needs to take place. And I think that the reason why it's showing up is because whatever event, whatever situation that's coming, it might get you upset or it might get you reactive. And this is not for the next 7 days. You should not be reactive, right? Somebody shares something on social media that upsets you. You shouldn't be responding to that. If somebody tells you something, maybe an insult, you shouldn't be responding to that. If you feel that someone is being disrespectful, just take a bird's eye view of things, walk away. You don't need to engage. And I think that the reason why is because it's only going to cause you more mental harm than good. So make sure that you're staying away from the drama. Make sure that you're staying away from the debates, right? What we see here is a Viking warrior. And this Viking warrior, after having fought a great battle in which he was victorious, right? You see all of the bodies laying around. This Viking warrior was victorious. But in his victory, he also came down because all of these other warriors, even though he was the last one standing, they pierced him. They pierced his armor with swords. And so even though he was the last one standing and essentially still was able to claim some kind of victory, he still lost. And so this is a situation where everyone loses. So you don't want to engage in a situation like that. You want to take the high road. You want to move away from any kind of negative mentality or negative mindsets or just any kind of debates that might be presented to you. So make sure that you are watching your anger. I think that there's forces at play that are telling you that the most advantageous path is the path of least resistance or the path of least struggle, the path where you are at peace mentally. And that mental peace will just cover all areas of your life. So keep that in mind. That is what the tarot is forecasting for the next 7 days. This is the main message that the tarot is showing us. So what we're going to go ahead and do now, group number 1, we're going to go ahead and throw some oracle cards just to get a deeper understanding. Maybe even some more advice and guidance, right? The oracles do provide us with a lot of information and good advice. So we're going to start with the, I forget the name of this deck, the Self-Love. There we go, the Self-Love Oracle. Let's see what advice these oracle cards have for the next 7 days. We're going to throw it on camera. All right, so we have here, forgive and release. My goodness, all right. When we carry love and forgiveness, we are stronger. We can keep our lessons learned without holding on to past hurts. Boom. I mean, the message is now extended into the oracles, right? Forgive and release. So, if anyone for the next 7 days you feel like they're being unfair, forgive them, release any kind of negative energy. Don't allow yourself to get upset. Just move on. It's really, there's no reason for you, right? For you to go into the mud with the swine and get dirty. There's no reason for that. So when we carry love and forgiveness, we are stronger, okay? We can keep our lessons learned without holding on to past hurts. So again, we see the pain that will come if you engage too deeply into, this situation with these family members or friends or coworkers, whoever, right? We see the pain. So retracement, go back, take a step back, reassess so that you can come out victorious. All right? Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the next oracle. This is the Unshakable Inner Peace Oracle cards. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what the Unshakable Inner Peace Oracle cards want to advise you. Group number 1. All right. I mean, are you kidding me? These cards are all lining up beautifully. Look at this. Okay, so group number 1, there is strength in doing nothing. Wait. And a question to consider. What have you been forcing, and how can you let go of the outcome? Right? This is very strong. This is very interesting. There is strength in doing nothing. Just wait. Now, obviously, we don't have the tarot cards. Aren't forecasting anything that has to do with love or finances. It's really all involving the mind, right? We've got the 10 of Swords. We've got the 2 of Swords. So what we have here is the mind and our tactical approach and our decision making and how that affects us mentally. That's really what's going on in the next 7 days, right? So, it could be talking about any area of life. Obviously, this is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest, but it does have to do with yourself. Sometimes we cause ourselves more harm by worrying constantly about things that are out of our control. And so we see here the Hangman energy. Hangman energy is being represented by this oracle card very beautifully, reaching a place where there is a strength in doing nothing and just waiting and just letting things happen around you, right? I think that spirit is guiding things. I feel like there's divine timing at play here. So make sure that you aren't forcing anything and in the process causing yourself more mental harm than good. If you ever feel like you're stressed for the next 7 days, if you feel like you are mentally just, not in the right place, take a step back. All right, take a step back and always remember, forgive and release. All right, there is strength in that. You will be stronger at the end of this process. All right, so let's go ahead and throw a Moonology card. This is the newer Moonology deck, the Moonology Manifestation. Let's throw a Moonology card and try and get a deeper sense of what else is coming for the next 7 days. Let's take a look. All right, look at that. So some more advice. We have here first quarter moon in Cancer. Push through any insecurity. First quarter moon in Cancer. If you have any Cancers around you, it could be talking about that person. If you yourself are a Cancer, this message is definitely very powerful for you. Push through any insecurity is the advice for the next 7 days. So, I think that the need to react and the need to want to say something might be because of some kind of insecurity, some things that you just want to say. Maybe you feel like you're being attacked, or, maybe they are attacking you and you feel like you need to defend yourself because, they need to respect you, right? So if this is something that's going on, understand that it's more about you and how you see yourself, than what's actually being presented and what is actually going on. The hate is all theirs. It's not yours. It doesn't belong to you unless you allow it to come, unless you accept it into your space, right? So let's go ahead and throw another oracle. This is from the Self-Care Wisdom cards. We're going to go ahead and shuffle. Oh my. No. We're going to go ahead and shuffle and throw one card and see what advice we get. Passion. Okay. Light up your life by honoring your deepest desires. I like that. So instead of occupying yourself with any drama or any conflict or anything that would maybe keep you in a place where you are feeling somewhat mentally drained, focus on the things that actually ignite some kind of passion and desire in you, right? For the next 7 days, focus on what you want to do. What do you want to do? Where do you feel most comfortable? Where do you feel like you are lit up? You know, if it's doing some kind of hobby, then go ahead and do that, right? But make sure that you are checking in with your true desires and what you truly want to do, and just do that. I mean, it could just be watching TV, right? Watching your favorite TV series and not worrying about what that person says. It could be reading some kind of book or going down the Wikipedia rabbit hole, right? And discovering newer things. Whatever it is that you feel would be the best thing, go ahead and do it. I think that for the next 7 days, you're being asked to detach yourself from any drama, any conflict. This is good for your mental health, okay? Mental health is going to be a big thing for the next 7 days for you. So make sure that you're focusing on that mental health so that you don't reach that 10 of Swords kind of breaking point. And I feel like, that breaking point, it's not the end all be all, but what it is you essentially harming yourself so much that you start maybe spiraling. You spiral for a little more, for more days than you need to, and this is all those negative things that we tell ourselves. This is just the depleting thoughts that we have, the thoughts of vengefulness, the thoughts of trying to get back to people, and it's like all of that is just wasted chaotic energy, and it ends up hurting you more than anything. So make sure that you are checking in on that, right, so that you can avoid that pitfall. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is throw some mini cards. I want to try and get some information from the mini cards. So we're going to start with the Whispering Woods minis. Let's take a look. Let's see what they have to say for the next. Oh, wow. You've got 2 cards. All right, so let's see. The first message is grounded. Keep to your roots and stand taller than the trees. Boom. Keep to your roots and stand taller than the trees. Again, be that bigger person. Stay grounded in who you are. Have certainty of self. You don't need to respond to everyone. Not everyone deserves a response from you. Then the next card that came out was Light. Let's take a look here, see if it comes into focus for us. All right, Light. Look to the space between the trees for answers. That's an interesting message, right? Look to the space between the trees for answers. So everything is not as it seems. I think that that's what this card is telling you. There's always more beneath the surface. There's always more with what people tell us and what people try and do to us. There's always more to that. And so I feel like, sometimes it's not about you. It's mostly about them, right? What they're doing, what they're trying to do, what they're trying to get us to do. It's mostly about them, not you. And I feel that for the next 7 days, that is going to be a theme, right? So look to the space between the trees for answers. Let's go ahead and continue with the mini cards. We're now going to utilize the Secret Garden. The Secret Garden Oracle. Let's take a look and see what this Secret Garden Oracle wants to share with us. All right, so we have here Wallflower. Look for the crack in the concrete to find your way out. That's interesting, right? That's interesting. It's pretty much the same message as the other one. Look for the crack in the concrete to find your way out. All right, so I feel that for some of you, you have to engage. I think that, for those of you that do engage in whatever this negativity or this event or this situation that is going to drain you mentally, if you do engage, there's always a way out. Just try and find yourself and try and be very calculating with what you say and what you do and how you say it and how you do it. Try and be the bigger person in some ways, in some capacity. Interesting. Look for the crack in the concrete to find your way out. All right, we're going to throw another card. And this is the final oracle card, the final oracle message. Let's take a look. All right, and the final message to you is discover. Look at the early dew drops before they disappear with the morning sun. Wow, I like this card as the final card because, it's talking about what you might miss if you succumb to this kind of hate or, this kind of combative energy that I'm seeing here, right? And this mental anguish, this anxiety, this worry, this fear, because, the Two of Swords and the Ten of Swords, there is a hesitation to act according to what we know is best because we feel like we have to respond. And so if you are in a situation similar to that, remember that there are many other opportunities around you, many other beautiful things around you, many other experiences for the next 7 days that beckon to be explored. Make sure that you are investing as much time and energy into that as possible, because that positive energy and those beautiful experiences, they are limited. Okay, they're not always going to be there. So remember that there's beauty in life if only you open your eyes, if only you open yourself to receiving that beauty, and you avoid all of the other negative things, negative energies that want to try and bring you down, possibly to their level, right? Let's be honest here. Most people, they want to engage in some kind of warfare because they themselves are miserable. So they want to drag you into the mud, right? They want to drag you in so that you can get dirty with them. Make sure that you are avoiding that. Don't fall into the trap. For the next 7 days, discover, start seeing the beauty in everything. Do something different. Go somewhere, and avoid any kind of drama or conflict, and stand back. And when you do stand back, right, it's not just enough to stand back. You have to make the decision that you are not going to mentally give this any thought. You're just moving away from it, right? You're forgiving, you're releasing, you're waiting. And in doing this, you're going to be stronger and you're going to find strength, is what the oracle cards are forecasting for you. All right? So that is what I see here, group number 1. I want to thank you so much for watching. Quick reminder, I am offering private readings at this time, so if you're interested in a private reading, you will have to go through my Etsy store. I'm going to include the link in the description below. Thank you guys for your donations. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. All of those things really do help. If you comment, I will respond back to you. All right, I've been responding to all of you, and I like to hear what you have to say. If you have any ideas for any future pick-a cards, I love to hear those as well. Always welcomed. I love every single one of you. I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and bye-bye. Welcome, group number 2. So you picked the very beautiful, beautiful number 42, prosperity, abundance, and success. I mean, this is probably the group I would have picked because, man, this is a beautiful, beautiful garden. Just so much beauty, right? Even the golden road. This is the card that heralds a time of great prosperity. And that prosperity is now opening up to you. So in the next 7 days, you might experience abundant blessings. They may come in the form, in different forms, and for many reasons. It may be that a project you've been working on for a long time is finally coming to fruition. An investment or potential property sale could be paying off, or some unexpected gift like an inheritance may be coming your way. This card is essentially telling you to get ready to enjoy the fruits of your labor and the rewards of your faith. You deserve great, undiluted joy, and that radiant garden will be blossoming very soon, okay? So this is definitely a very beautiful card. Obviously, I don't want to put too much weight on this card. We're going to let the tarot speak. We're going to see exactly what the messages are. But my goodness, very beautiful card, very beautiful message. And I feel that, there's definitely some things that are going to be paying off for you within the next 7 days. So let's go ahead and zoom out. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. And we're going to start with some tarot. And then we're going to go ahead and throw some more oracle cards to get some direct messages. There we go. All right. So we're going to use the Tarot Apocalypsis. As you guys know, this is my favorite tarot deck, so it's the one that I'm just going to start using from now on. All right. So we're going to go ahead and ask, what is coming in the next 7 days for group number 2? What is coming? What is coming? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right. So you've been through some pain, okay? You've been through some pain. Absolutely. You have been suffering. I think, listen, I'm an equities trader. Okay, that's what I do for a living. And if you have been trading stocks, it's been a pretty rough go. Okay, it's been very, very, very bad. Obviously, if you manage risk, it can be well for you. It can be very advantageous, but a lot of people are suffering financially, and the fact that this is the card that you picked, and the fact that we've got the Six of Swords showing up, the Three of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles, this is an indication of a shift, a change in luck and prosperity and abundance. So we start with the Six of Swords. I really like this illustration of the Six of Swords. This is a Viking excursion, okay? And as you know, the Vikings were known for their longboats. Those longboats can travel far, far distances. They were able to reach, I believe they were able to reach what is now Upper New York, if I'm not mistaken. But it just speaks to the ingenuity and just the brilliance of that time. And so that longboat is something that is being utilized, or it's going to be utilized in the next 6 days for you to move from what was to what will be, right? And so what we have here is a Viking spirit, which is talking about increase and prosperity. This Viking spirit is showing up pregnant. That is the abundance, that is the success that you are moving into. And so I feel like whatever Viking excursion this is, right, they're headed towards greener pastures. They're headed towards a better outcome for them, for themselves. They're essentially headed to this castle, we can say, and to walk that beautiful golden road of abundance and success. Now, obviously, the card can be talking about simply, a project or something that you have been waiting for, that you've been expecting, but it can also be talking about, inheritances. It can also be talking about some kind of big increase in money, a big windfall, some kind of change in your economic situation, or in climbing that economic ladder in some capacity, right? I think I read a comment from one of you seekers, and I one of the comments was a person who invested in bonds, and they were so upset, right? Because obviously the market has been shit lately, and there was a sense of them reaching a place where that investment is going to pay off, and an understanding that it will happen at some point. So perhaps, there's something going on here. Six of Swords is really kind of alluding to that. Then we move on to the Three of Swords, and this is what you are leaving behind, okay? Right underneath the abundance and success. And this is the pain that you've been feeling. What we have here is an existential crisis of the mind, due to external events that are now obviously internal events. That's the pain. It's the heartbreaking. It's the piercing of the heart and the blood that is spilled when there's so much pain. And so, the Three of Swords is definitely something that you're leaving behind, I feel. There's a journey that's being taken. And with the Eight of Pentacles, and this is a very interesting card because there's a dual message here. And so obviously, this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. But with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, what we see here is decisions that should not be taken. All right, this is more of an advice card. I feel that you shouldn't be listening to people around you for the next 7 days. Don't listen to the gurus. Don't listen to the people that are trying to assist you financially, that are trying to tell you what to do with your money. Follow your intuition, okay? And it's funny because for some reason I keep seeing whenever I put out a video, either if it's on TikTok or on YouTube, I have a lot of followers on TikTok as well. I get all this spam from like crypto people, stock market people, and it's like, seriously, leave me alone. So make sure that you're not, succumbing to these things, you're listening to these people. I think that maybe there's just too much information out there. And ultimately what they're going to try and do is they're going to try and take from you. So listen to yourself. I think that you are more aware and prepared than you know. You're more able and capable than you're giving yourself credit for. So that's what the Eight of Pentacles is kind of showing here. And let's talk about the illustration. So the Pentacles, they're a very beautiful element, right? I'm a Virgo sun and a Virgo moon, so earth energy is very important. And when it comes to the Eight of Pentacles, what we see here is the progression from the Ace of Pentacles, where we have the beginning of some kind of prosperous venture and wealth creation. Now we have here the Eight of Pentacles, which is the ultimate form of wealth, and that is the transfer of knowledge to the next generation. So we have this person, this leader that has amassed incredible prosperity and wealth for themselves, and now they are passing it on to the next generation so that the lineage of wealth is continued, right? That's the ultimate form of wealth. It binds us together, right? It's perfect for the number 8 because there is a sense of eternal understanding and a passing on. And so I feel like, there's definitely going to the fact that you got to reverse, there's going to be a lot of information that might be coming. Not all of it is great. So make sure that you're paying attention to what you intuitively feel is the right thing to do. Make sure that you're listening to your internal compass, and follow through on that, right? So this existential crisis, this pain that we see in the Three of Swords, we're moving away from that with the Six of Swords, a journey, an adventure. Also, on a more practical note, right? On a more maybe what I should do or advice or guidance from the tarot, the Six of Swords is telling you to move away from the stress of the Three of Swords, right? Move away from all of this negative thought process or from, you feeling like things are not going to be okay, mental anguish, mental, like an energy of being defeated, right? I feel that that's going on for some of you. Move away from that energy for the next 7 days. Take a vacation, right? Six of Swords. Take a vacation. Try and focus on yourself. Try and focus on just relaxing and just being in the moment as much as possible so that you can rise from any trouble, any situation in a very kind of light atmosphere or just, what's going to bring you to a place of calmness and peace, because that's really what the next 7 days is all about for you. There may be a lot of things going on around you, but if you can remain at peace, if you can remain with a steadfast faith that things are going to be okay, then yes, they will be. Also, on another note, right, I think that this is worthy of talk here. Make sure that you are investing some time in your knowledge building, right? The Eight of Pentacles isn't just talking about, corrupted gurus that want to try and sell you something. This can be talking about not engaging or not learning something new. And so for the next 7 days, if there's a book that you can read, if there's something that you can introduce into your tools of knowledge or your financial literacy, then go ahead and do it, right? Don't just stand still in a way. Make sure that you are actively shaping your future, but do it intelligently. Don't just, give your mind over to someone and let that person be the one that's making the decisions and driving the longboat. Make sure that you're the one driving that longboat, but invest in some time and knowledge. And I think that would be the most advantageous thing for you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and throw some oracle cards. Let's see what advice the oracle cards have to offer us. We're going to start with the self-love oracle cards. Let's take a look and see what we have here. Clarify your desire is the message for the next 7 days. Be clear about what you want. Do not ask out of lack, but from the deepest joy in your heart. Interesting message, right? Interesting message. All right. Let's go ahead and throw a card from the Unshakable Inner Peace. We're going to shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And here we are. All right, and we have here, things are not what they seem. You are only trapped by your illusion. A question to ask, what freedom do you seek? Wow. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about these two oracle cards, and then we'll move on to the other one. So these are some very interesting cards, right? Clarify your desire. Be clear about what you want. Do not ask out of lack, but from the deepest joy in your heart. Things are not what they seem. You are only trapped by your illusions. What freedom do you seek? And so, we see that freedom with the Six of Swords. We see that seeking energy, the going out, venturing off into a new area. Potentially, what you are being told with the Eight of Pentacles and the Six of Swords, and now the Oracle cards, is learn something new and venture into that unknown territory. And I think that you're going to find a lot of great things there, potentially even more prosperous and abundant success. So it's interesting. Things are not what they seem, right? So if there's like a hesitation on your part, if you want to take action, a very definite action, make sure that you're thinking a bit clear on this. Why are you doing this, right? Why are you doing this? Now, obviously, I think that your intuition is going to be lit up in the next 7 days, right? But you have to, in some ways, really check in with yourself. Know why you're making the decision that you're making. Are you making that decision based on the Three of Swords, which is pain, which is fear, which is torment, which is past experiences that didn't work out as you wanted them to, and now they've kind of molded you and shaped you, and you are making decisions based on that pain or fear? Or are you making decisions in the next 7 days based on your knowledge and your understanding and what you know to be true? And are you doing it from a place of faith and joy and prosperity, or are you doing it from a place of fear, right? So, it's all about the mindset, right? It's all about mindset for the next 7 days for you. All right, let's go ahead and throw some more oracle cards. We're going to continue this with the Moonology manifestation cards. Let's go ahead and shuffle and see what information we get from the cards. All right. Actually, we're just going to throw one. We're just going to throw one because we're going to throw a different, we're going to use a different deck. All right, so we've got here Full Moon in Aquarius. Be real. Wow. Very direct message, very simple message, right? Be real. So be real with yourself. Be real with the people around you. Be real with any situation that you are confronted with. Just be real. My goodness, I feel like maybe that just is going to take on a form once the week starts taking shape for you. Once you get into the next 7 days, you're going to start understanding what exactly that means, right? Be real with who you are. Be real with, what you truly want and desire. And make sure that you are following through on that. Make sure that you have a laser focused approach, all right, to what you want. All right, so we're going to go ahead and throw another card from a different oracle deck. It's from the Self-Care Oracle. Let's see what the Self-Care Oracle has for you. All right, so we've got here Surrender. All right, very beautiful artwork. Surrender says to you, stop trying to control life. It gets in the way of divine intervention. Wow, I like that message. I really do like that message. And I think it's really clear, right? I think, sometimes Spirit and our spirit guides and Source, there's a sense of divine timing, and there's a sense of things happening at the best time. It's not always the right time for you. Like, for example, I've discovered that there was a nest outside just a few, like 2 weeks ago. And that brought me great joy. A bird's nest right outside my door. And I've been just kind of watching it, throwing pictures of it like a nerd. But, those little birds, now they've hatched and they're growing their feathers. If they try to fly, they're going to die. They can't fly yet, right? There's a time to fly. There's a process to that flying. If you try and do something and it's not the right time, you will fail. And then what's going to end up happening is there's no going back. I mean, if that little bird tries to fly, ends up, falling down on the ground, their life is more than likely going to end, right? They might be eaten by predators. They may not have the strength to survive an attack by maybe just a colony of ants, right? So, these things, it's very, very gruesome, but it's very real. It's what we confront. It's life. It's the physical reality that we live in. So stop trying to control life. It gets in the way of divine intervention. All right, let's go ahead and throw some more oracles. We're going to throw the mini cards. I've been using these minis. I want to see if we can get some more direct messages from them. So let's shuffle. Oh my. All right, so we've got here a message. We're not going to use the other cards. We're just going to use this one. Play. Among the grass and wild violets lie undisturbed little secrets to uncover. Amongst the grass and the wild violets. That's beautiful. Play. You are being asked to play for the next 7 days, or to view life as a big play, right? Don't take things too seriously. Take a step back, take a different approach, and understand that you are prosperous, right? That's one of the reasons why you picked this card. It's not that you are desiring that prosperity and that abundance. It's that is what you are. Abundance, success, prosperity, that is a part of you. That is who you are at your core. And so for the next 7 days, ask yourself, where am I most prosperous? And I feel, and what the cards are essentially saying here is, you're most prosperous when you're having fun, when you're playing, when you're investing in yourself, self-love, self-care, right? That's when you're most at your best. All right, so Whispering Woods. Let's go ahead and throw a Whispering Woods card. We're actually going to throw two, just to get two messages. Here's number 1. And here is number 2. All right, so let's see. First message is a message of hope. Let's see if this comes into focus. Hope. An idea, like a single acorn, can start a wondrous forest. Wow. All right, group number 2. In the next 7 days, you might get some idea that's going to really, really, really pay off. So now this abundance and prosperity, it is in some ways taking a little shape and form. So it seems like for some of you, you're going to have some kind of idea. This could be an investment idea. This could be something that you learn from your studies. For those of you that picked, I feel that a lot of people pick this group because the message is just so I would say evolving. The message just keeps evolving, and a lot of you picked this group. So 8 of Pentacles reverse can tell us to avoid anything that really does not align with our intuition and what we feel is right in our internal compass. Make sure that you are asking yourself, right? Is this right for me? Do I feel right? Is there something off about this? Check in with yourself, but also invest the time and energy into learning something, right? But make sure, and this is the key here, make sure that it feels like play. If it feels like work, then you're not doing anything. But if it feels like you're playing, then now you are doing something. So invest the time and energy in something that feels like fun. And then we have the final message, the night. Find comfort in the night where the world switches off and the stars burn bright. Oh, wow. So this could be talking about what you're doing at night, right? Where are you investing your energies at night? And this is definitely a very powerful message for those people that like to stay up late, right? They like to enjoy that darkness. They feel most alive under the presence of the moon. This message is very strong for you people, for you guys, and I feel like there's a sense of make sure that you are doing all of the things that you are thinking of doing right now within that nighttime. If you're someone that maybe watches too much television and you've been internally feeling like I shouldn't be investing so much time doing this, go ahead and do it, right? Pursue that energy. Listen to your intuition. It's trying to guide you to some kind of great idea that's going to lead to prosperity, further abundance and success. We already know that this is what you are internally, but how can we bring out into the external, into the physical, what's inside of you? And I feel like an idea is going to be birthed, and it's going to, in some ways, help you find what you truly desire. But you have to be clear about what you want. You have to be clear about that desire as well. What is it that you truly want? Things are not always what they seem, right? So, very interesting. All right, so that is what I see here, group number 2. I want to thank you so much for watching. Quick reminder, I am offering private readings at this time. If you're interested in a private reading, you will have to go to my Etsy store. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. And also in the comment section. And thank you for those that have left donations. Thank you so much. Also, thank you for those that have subscribed. Thank you for the likes, and thank you for commenting. I hope to see more commenting, right? I get a lot, I get a substantial amount of views, but not a lot of comments. I would like for you guys to comment as much as possible. It helps me know exactly if the messages are truly helping you. It helps me understand what potentially I can do next, right? If there's any other pick a card ideas, I usually go to the comment section to try and find those ideas. So make sure that you're commenting. Let me know what you would like to see, and I'm going to go ahead and try and bring that to you. So thank you once again. Bye-bye. Welcome, group number 3, to your reading. So you picked the very beautiful Freedom card. This is the card of moving on and letting go. Very interesting card, very interesting selection. This card could reveal a time of new freedom for you in the next 7 days. Perhaps involving a recent breakup or some sort of energetic disconnection. This may be a dismantling of romance, friendships, or a family relationship, or maybe even a job or a career, right? Whatever the experience, the present energy is saying that the moment has come to let go. Any type of separation can be difficult, even if the break is initiated by you. The grief and lifestyle adjustments can feel overwhelming, but this card is telling you to take heart, for this is the right time for you to free yourself from what's been holding you back, okay? Very powerful card. This card can also be signaling emotions of liberation and great relief. So you could be on the cusp of something very beneficial, such as a resolution, some kind of ongoing problem, or maybe some kind of healing of some kind of long-term ailment, right? So all of these things are very possible under the energy of this Freedom card. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to zoom out, not zoom in, zoom out, and we're going to throw some tarot to try and figure out exactly what that release is. We're going to let the tarot speak to us. We're going to ask Spirit to guide us. What is coming in the next 7 days for group number 3? We're asking for information here. We're asking for a guidance. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? Wow. All right, so it feels like a job and career, all right? It definitely feels like a money situation. Definitely feels like job, career, money. All right, so we're going to get into the cards right now. Obviously, this is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest. Freedom can be talking about many things, but the fact that we've got the 5 of Pentacles is very telling. So we start with the Tower, And the Tower is, my goodness, a very scary, scary card, right? And the fact that you have it reversed is very telling. What we have here is a need for change. Change needs to come. And, we have here a yogi, which is actually a representative of Shiva. And so Shiva is the ultimate destroyer, but out of the destruction that Shiva leaves, there is new life and creation that emerges from that, right? So it's the process of destruction that is essential for new life to come. The fact that the Tower showed up reversed tells me that you are in need of liberation, and that liberation is coming for this week, for the next 7 days. It very much feels like a decision that maybe potentially you are going to make, or it's going to be made for you. So, you are being asked to prepare for that. But I do feel like this decision, this thing that you're liberating yourself from, is going to, in some ways, prepare you and give you even more than you had before. And the reason I'm saying that is because you have the Fool showing up. And so the Fool showing up reversed is essentially talking about the inability to have new experiences and really just be happy with your current state of affairs, right? The Fool, if you were to have gotten the Fool upright, then what we see is someone who is filled with life, filled with a zest for the energies that are around him, right? The Fool wakes up in the morning and doesn't wonder, what problems are around, or doesn't wonder what's going to keep him down. No. The Fool engages in the process of life with this rhythmic dance that's almost ecstatic. There's a sense of joy and bliss in everything that the Fool does. And there's a need for that, right? There's a need for new beginnings, new experiences. That's what keeps the Fool motivated and inspired. You got the card reversed, right? So the Fool has fallen off a cliff. And I feel like, with this reversed Fool, this need of liberation and new beginnings have been blocked because of your current state of affairs. And I feel like, it is for a lot of you, for a good percentage of you, financial in nature. It is also maybe career, job oriented. There's a need for some kind of change, liberation. The next 7 days, you're going to start seeing that. And we see it reflected with the Five of Pentacles. Okay? Let's take a look at this card very closely. So what do you need liberation from? Well, we have here two people that are going through some very difficult financial times. They are homeless. The only shelter that they can find is under this leaf. You can tell that these people have lost a lot, a great deal, and they're losing even more, right? We have here pentacles that are being washed away from them, right? It's like they're seeing their money just leaving, right? Like dripping away. And it's very difficult. It's very hard to see that, right? There's an expectation for things to go well, but it just hasn't been there, right? And you have this big, luxurious, beautiful home, almost gold-like in nature, but they are not given access to that beautiful palace. Why aren't they being given access to it, right? That's the question. Well, liberation, a new beginning, a need for it, a sudden change. All of these things are key words that are a part of your experience for the next 7 days. That is what is coming to you. So, what we are going to do now is we're going to throw some oracle cards, and we're going to try and get some direct messages, right? So we know exactly what's coming now that the tarot has given us a little bit of an understanding. But we're going to consult with the oracles to try and get some direct messages to see how we can best cope with this energy that is coming to us. We're going to start with the self-love oracle cards. Let's shuffle. And let's take a look. All right, so your card is share light. Share your trials as well as your triumphs. Your stories benefit you in the telling and others in the hearing, spreading the light of transformation. That's interesting. This is an advice card of where you can maybe essentially invest your time and energy within the next 7 days, right? So speaking to other people about this, I feel like the Freedom card was talking about relationships. It was talking about maybe toxic environments. I think that potentially, for those of you that are going through that and seeking that kind of liberation, this Triumph card, right, this share the light card, is telling you maybe to seek some kind of talk therapy, right, where you're talking out the situations and the problems and how it felt when you were almost ensnared by this trap, or how it felt when you were in that cage, right? In the next 7 days, you are going to be liberated from this, and maybe in some ways, in some capacity, you are also in need of liberation from your negative mindset or your negative thought patterns. And, I don't want to say that it's your fault that you're going through this. Sometimes life is very difficult, and, it binds us, it puts us in a cage, and all we can do is focus on that cage and the horrors of the cage. And so there's a trauma that's developed there, right? And so I feel that with talk therapy, you might essentially benefit very greatly. That is what this card is alluding to, right? Share your trials as well as your triumphs, which is also talking about, the triumphs that you're going to experience, I feel, the liberation, right? And it could also be talking about your next adventure or your next business venture. You can essentially maybe start some kind of vlog, some kind of maybe community where you're talking about these things, where you're sharing, where you're advising people. I mean, there's definitely an energy that's going to be surrounding you of collaboration, of moving forward, of giving back, and in doing that, you're going to be able to process the freedom that's going to come to you a little easier, and what you essentially went through to get to that place. All right, let's go ahead and throw another Oracle card. This is from the Unshakable Inner Peace Oracle. Let's see what the Unshakable Inner Peace has for us. All right, so let's take a look. So you've got card 39, which reads, "You are the truth seeker, awakening, actualizing, transcending." A question to ask: how can you invite more grace to guide you? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You are, group number 3, you're going to start experiencing a lot of new things, okay? And the fact that the Fool is reversed, the fact that the Tower is reversed, this is something that you really need. But also, I want to tell you that if you ever feel like this is unfair, or if you ever feel like, this should not be happening, it's because of some kind of inability to fully understand the process that you're going through. Like, for example, if you're laid off, and I don't want to say that this is what's going to happen, but I want to try and get you to the point where you're understanding what I'm saying. If you are laid off, it is going to be for your best benefit. It is going to be for your prosperity. It is going to be for your increase, because whatever is going to come next is much better than where you are right now. That's what the cards are telling you, okay? That's what the Tower reverse is showing us. That's what the Fool reverse is showing us. We see a trapped experience, trapped energy with these two Oracle cards, and a need for that transformation to come so that you can fly free and move away from this energy right here, which is an energy of decreasing, right? Decrease, lack. So, in many ways, you're going to, in the next 7 days, start a journey of seeking. And in that seeking, you're going to find something truly wonderful that's going to be very beneficial for you. It's going to be a part of your awakening, as we see the keywords here. Your awakening, actualization, and your transcending, right? And, a question to consider: how can you invite more grace to guide you? Is very interesting, right? I think that sometimes when we go through very negative experiences, we tend to act very ungraciously. We tend to be sometimes very negative. We tend maybe to even just pass that negativity on to other people. And so how can you be more gracious in everything that happens? Be more clear about things, right? I feel that Spirit wants to truly help you in your process, wants to communicate things to you, wants to aid you in your development. But if you're focusing on the negativity, if you're focusing on the friction of what it's going to take for that door to that cage to open, then you're going to lose sight of the blessing that is outside of that cage, right? Sometimes we get comfortable in that cage as well. And that comfort is what ends up killing us slowly, trickle, 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 until there's nothing left. All right? So, let's go ahead and move on to the next Oracle cards. This is from the Moonology Manifestation Oracle deck. We're going to throw just one card, and we're going to see what the message is. All right, so we've got here last quarter moon in Scorpio. Reveal what needs to be seen. Wow. So, group number 3, you now have 2 oracle cards that are telling you to share, that are telling you to reveal, speak something, right? And so I feel like maybe potentially this is a very strong message for those that are in relationships that need to end. Okay, and you know exactly what I mean. When you're with a toxic person, when you're hanging around with people that you know very well you shouldn't be around because their toxicity is very, very, very pervasive. These people are, but you feel like they're your friends, and maybe there's a chance that they'll change, and there's always that need, right, to have someone there. This speaks very powerfully to those people watching this. Obviously, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. But to those people that are in those relationships, understand they're not serving you anything, right? They're taking from you. They're extracting from you. They're in your need to, in some ways, get rid of loneliness, or to, in your fear of loneliness, you've allowed serpents to come into your space. And it's time to start cleaning your space. It's time to start cutting the head of those serpents. And just walking away from them. All right. So that is for a few of you that are kind of resonating with a more relationship based message. But for those of you that are in a job, right? Those of you that are maybe stuck in some kind of stock or investment that's going against you, right? It's important for you to potentially share your knowledge, share what you've gone through in a community, right? There's so many communities out there, so many groups where you can go and you can talk about what has happened, and you can find familiarity, and you can find potentially even new friends and connections there that are going to help you and be very beneficial for you energetically. So reveal what needs to be seen, right? Be honest with yourself in the next 7 days. Be honest with yourself. Stop lying to yourself. You are awakening at this moment. Make sure that you awaken completely, right? All right, so we're going to throw a self-care card. Let's go ahead and shuffle, take a look and see what we have here. Right. Oh, we've got the money symbols. I've never gotten this card. Abundance. Look at that. Abundance. All right. Let's see. What's the message? A long message. Being a thoughtful steward for the money you already have is the secret to creating more abundance. When you trust yourself to handle more, that's when more shows up. Wow. So this is some very, very strong practical advice. You're being asked to manage your money, your finances, your trades, your investments, your financial situation. You're being asked to manage it. Being a thoughtful steward for the money you already have is the secret to creating more abundance. When you trust yourself to handle more, that's when more shows up. So, potentially one thing that you can be moving away from is some kind of investment advice or pattern, right? I'm focusing in on the financial part of things because it's so abundantly clear that there is, for some of you, a financial element to this freedom and change and moving on and letting go and experiencing something new. So we've talked about the relationship side of it, but on the financial side of things, you are being told that potentially your trading style or what you are doing, where you are investing your money, and where your assets and how you are potentially maneuvering and moving around in that area might need a little tweaking. Maybe there's something that you need to change. Maybe you're day trading when you should be playing the long game. Maybe you're swing trading when you should be day trading, or maybe your trading style is just not ideal. Maybe you're spending money on things that you should not be spending money on. Maybe you're using too much credit, right? And so it's important for you to really just come in and try and really take an account of what's happening. And that, I feel, is something that's desperately needed. The Tower reverse, the Fool reverse talk about a desperation, a need for that change to occur, right? So that you can step away from whatever this Five of Pentacles is that's depleting you financially, right? And also, I don't talk a lot about health, but we can also be looking at this, right? This could be talking about your health. The Five of Pentacles isn't always about money. It could be your health, right? What are you doing? What are you eating? Are you exercising? Right? These are all things to consider, right? So being thoughtful, being a steward, but obviously there is a strong pull towards money and abundance here, right? And a freedom from that. So, this reading is very positive, group number 3. All right, I don't want you to think that there's something wrong here. It is very positive. There's a change and a transcendence that's taking place here, and this is going to benefit you greatly. All right. Now, let's go ahead and start with the final 2 oracle cards, the Secret Garden. Let's see what message we get from the Secret Garden for the next 7 days. Generosity. Okay, generosity. Sow seeds of kindness. Very, very nice practical advice, right? When you interact with people for the next 7 days, sow seeds of kindness in the next 7 days. Those seeds are going to, provide you with some increase in the future, but ultimately it's important to do that because of just how you're going to feel after you do it. So, Whispering Woods. Let's take a look and see what the woods wants to whisper to us. Transform. You're getting a lot of these messages. Emerge with beauty and grace from your cocoon. Another message of grace. My goodness. It's time. It's time for that change. And I feel that, a lot of people pick this group because it's just, there's so many different types of messages showing up here. But transformation. Emerge with beauty and grace from your cocoon in the next 7 days. All right. Well, you know what? We're going to throw another Whispering Woods card, actually, just to close it out. So we're going to throw another one. Let's see. Surprises. Under the most ordinary stone is an undisturbed garden. Yes. Group number 3, opportunities abound. Okay. Don't ever think for the next 7 days that you are not going to be able to reap those benefits, that you're not going to be able to find those stones and find that beautiful garden underneath that stone, is what this card is telling you. I feel that a lot of you are headed towards a time of prosperity, towards a time of true grace, and you are being asked, there is going to be a little friction, right? That anytime there's change, there's always that little friction. I think that a lot of you have become very comfortable with your cage, with your job, with your career, with your investments, with your relationships. You become very comfortable. There is a need for change, and I feel that change is coming very rapidly. But it is going to, for the next 7 days, you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to, in some ways, reveal what needs to be changed, right? What is right in front of you, but you've been telling yourself, no. You have to be honest with yourself, and you have to reveal what that is in order for that change to truly come and present itself to you in a very gracious kind of way. So anyways, that is what I see here, group number 3. I want to thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a part of this channel. I do want to remind you that I am offering private readings at this time. If you are interested in a private reading, you will have to go through my Etsy store. I'm going to leave the link in the description below and in the comments section. Thank you for the donations. I've received donations from you guys, and every time I do, I'm just so thankful. Thank you for those donations. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being a part of this channel. I hope that this reading really resonated and helped you in some capacity. And don't forget to comment, right? You know, I do get a lot of views, but not a lot of comments. And those comments I utilize to know what you seekers would like to see me do. You know, what videos you would like, what pick-a-cards, what topics to cover. So make sure that you're commenting, make sure that you're sharing what you would like. I want to hear from you, and I am going to write back. I read all of your comments and I respond to every single one of them. So please take some time to respond to, leave a comment. Thank you, and bye-bye.